Yeah, yeah. DC Zone, Smoke D. Oh yeah. In the club, baby. Come on.
Players come to play, ballers come to ball. Women come to flirt, and groupies do it all. The haters come to fight, and throw them out the club. These people come to party, everybody show some love. Players come to play, ballers come to ball. Women come to flirt, and groupies do it all. The haters come to fight, and throw them out the club. These people come to party, everybody show some love.
Smoke D, tip the dub, now I'm up in the club. Ladies scream my name straight, showing some love. My cousin in the corner gave a brother some dap. He can talk a fool to death, but I ain't trying to rap. Walk to the bar, but you know I don't drink. A ginger ale and ice, I'm feeling alright. Had some bama at the table, sleep drunk as a skunk. Hennessy was in this cup, then he's throwing it up. Checking out the ladies coming up to the door. My favorite jam's on, so I'm up on the floor. Doing a little something with this cutie I know. Trying to see if I can take her home for sure. The night is still young, but I'm playing it cool. And hoping these bammers don't be acting a fool. You only live once, is how we living it up. You know that's how we do it when we up in the club. Come on.
Players come to play, ballers come.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the GULLUH Radio Show. Today in studio, I got one of my best friends I'd like for you to get to know. Live and direct in full effect is Flavor of Love. That's Flavor of Love ice cream trucks. What's up, Wes?
Hey, what's good?
Welcome to the GULLUH
Thank
Radio
you.
Show.
Thank you for having me, bro.
So look, man, why don't you tell me and my guests about who you are and what you do?
Well, look, we're Flavor of Love ice cream trucks. You choose the flavor, we're going to show you the love. That's what we do. We've got the hottest ice cream trucks in the Washington, D.C., DMV area and everything like that as well. So if you need us, we're right there for you. We serve all types of different ice creams, man, scoop ice cream and things like that. We take an old school ice cream and just put a new spin on it.
Okay. Old school ice cream meaning what?
Like, when you're a kid, you used to run to the truck, get the bomb pops and stuff like that, the sunflower seeds and everything like that. So what we pretty much did, man, we were family oriented, black-owned business, and so what we did was we said, let's take that, let's make an experience when you come to the truck. Now it's not just run to the truck. So we want you, when you get there, to have an experience when you come down the trucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, Flavor of Love, man. That's a catchy name, man. I like that.
Yeah.
And how many trucks you got, man?
So we got 2 trucks, and it's funny that you say it's a catchy name because who comes to the ice cream truck and gets ice cream and don't love the ice cream that they eat? So, and so many different flavors. So that's why we say the Flavor of Love. So
okay. So I know, but my guests might not know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of competition in your industry.
Yes.
I mean, they like hackers, man. Like hackers, man. That's an old cab term. But man, I had an opportunity to roll with you, sometime. And tell me about that, man. Tell me the ins and outs.
So you're right. It's a lot of competition. It's, you got soft serve trucks, you got the scoop ice cream trucks, and then you have the novelty trucks, which is popsicles and stuff like that, ice cream sandwiches. And the way I found my way of getting around all that and not having as much competition, I still have it, but not as much. I do a lot of events. I do corporate events. I do radio shows. You name it. Believe it or not, we've done 2 funerals and 2 weddings and things like that. So we do things a little outside the ordinary. Plus, some of our flavors, ours were one of our most famous is called the Bob Marley. And when you have the Bob Marley, you're gonna feel like you're in Jamaica. So yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Okay. So what you do also, man, like you say, you're family oriented.
Yeah.
You involve your kids, man. They work with you.
Oh man, my kids work on the truck. Everybody, my wife, my kids, everybody get on the truck. Here's the funny thing. They don't always like getting on the truck, but they like the iPhones, the PlayStations, and the wife likes to go on trips and things like that. So that kind of offsets everything. But when the family works on it, it makes me feel a lot prouder because when we were coming up, there wasn't that many family business. You go to the mom and pop store on the corner, but now you got an ice cream truck that can come to you and things like that, especially during COVID. Wow. Yeah.
So how does it usually go? You go in, you get your ice cream, and you just hit the road. You got your own route you go to.
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of the trucks with their competition coming because they got routes. Everybody got their routes and everything. Like they see it.
Yeah.
So we pretty much do. We load up and everything. We load up both trucks and all. And one truck may do events, and the other truck is doing the routes.
I got you.
And what happens with that is we send out Instagram, text, things like that. Or we hit a radio show and tell them, hey, Flavor Love won't be in this part of town for the next 3 hours. So let us know what your street is. They'll text us. We'll come to your street and everything like that and get the people taken care of.
Okay. Wow. So this is an all year round business, right?
Yeah, it's all year round. So now we don't do ice cream all year round. We do, but we don't do as much. So we, during this cold times, we turn it into coffee, hot chocolate, muffins, pastries, things like that. And a lot of that stuff, believe it or not, my wife is a pastry chef. So a lot of it's freshly homemade and everything.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Her stuff's called the G Spot. Yeah, man. When you eat it,
Okay.
dang, this is good.
Gotcha. What else you got on that truck other than ice cream?
So we got shave ice. That's one of our most popular things on the truck is the shave ice. So we did something different. All the trucks carry shave ice, but they just make it grape, cherry, blueberry. That's all they do. Well, we got the Trinidad. We have one for the Bahamas. So every country, their color flag, we make their shave ice that color.
Right.
So then we got one called like the Bob Marley, which is our most famous one. And we got the Bob Marley. That one looks just like Jamaica, but the taste will knock you out.
It's green and yellow,
So
like
it's green, yellow. It got a little red in it. And you can get it in 2 ways. You can get the regular Bob Marley, or you can get the Bob Marley Extreme. Bob Marley Extreme comes with alcohol.
Oh.
Yes, that's for adults.
adults.
Yes.
Okay. So you got a little beverage thing going on too with it.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
We're going to be coming out in 2023. We're going to be coming out. 90% of the trucks are going to be scoop ice cream, but we're now adding 2 new things to the truck, which we've been trying to add for a long time, which is deep fried Oreos, and we're going to be doing funnel cakes on the truck.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Deep fried Oreo cookies.
Yep.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. Oh man, gotta have.
It's a lot of melted chocolate, ain't it?
Nah, it don't melt. That's the thing. It don't melt, and we're gonna have funnel cakes on there and everything like that with reasonable prices. Yes. That's the other thing about us. That's what separates us from a lot of the other trucks.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the ice cream business, the ice cream has gone up 300%.
Ice cream has gone up.
It's gone up 300%. What the markup.
Jeez.
So us being able to sell it, which is considered retail, it's kind of tough.
Right.
So people come to the truck and say, $4, $5. Downtown, they charge them $10. I'm not even making this up. You go downtown and say, you know what? Let me get a banana split. It's $10.
That's crazy.
So
inflation is affecting us.
yeah, it is.
And gas, you gotta get around fuel.
You still got to get around fuel the trucks and everything like that and maintain those. Yeah.
Good. So this is what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard as a mug to sell ice cream when it's 95 degrees or hotter.
Yes.
I think you told me that a few years ago.
Yes.
I
So
can't understand it.
it's a science. I've learned. My brother Craig, who lives out in Virginia, he has a truck called.
So Craig Clippers.
Yeah.
Craig Clippers, the Congo player now for Physical Wonders. Y'all know
Yeah.
Craig Clippers, one of the baddest.
Him and Doc will face each
Yeah,
other.
faces you know now on Physical Wonders.
So he had a truck, and he told me he
I'm
can
gonna tap back into that.
Oh, most definitely,
I'm
most
gonna tap
definitely.
back into Craig Clippers, Physical Wonder, and faces you know. Go ahead.
So the hotter it gets, the less ice cream you sell because it melts faster. So you sell more drinks. The perfect weather is between 65 and 85 degrees. That's ice cream weather.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's definitely science.
More comfortable to eat it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, my wife and kids will tell you, I never watch the weather until I got an ice cream truck. Once I got an ice cream truck, I started watching the weather
Gotcha.
because it determined everything about my business. So, yes.
Wow. But hey, man, I see him out there. In the snow.
Yeah. Well, you got to build your customer base and you got to maintain and keep it.
Okay.
Even when it gets cold, there are a lot of trucks. Some trucks will still go out because they want people to know that, hey, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still. Most of the guys go back to their countries.
Wow. Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, a lot of them go back to their
That's
countries.
true. That's true. All right, man. So yeah, looking forward to getting more acclimated to the ice cream.
Yeah.
Case in point, a couple of years ago, during COVID, I started shooting a reality show.
Yes.
On the ice cream truck with Wes. Ride around or whatever, and I'm just rolling tape. And I'm gonna tell you something. Can't tell you all the name of the show, but it will be back in production.
Yeah.
But what I captured, the organic essence of what I captured on my camera, that's still gotta be edited. It is love, man. The ice cream business is something else, man. You walk through the warehouse where the ice cream is being sold at, and man was over here helping people out. It's a whole other world. And then the competition, how I'm shooting or whatever, and Wes was like, "Damn that dude!" So he pulled behind us, right? So I got out. I got him trying to steal the crowd. Wes had a line, and dude had one dude come up and buy ice cream from him, and Wes had like a line, showing the dude, "Yeah, I'm working it," right? So dude got mad and pulled off. I was in the back of the truck. I had the dude. He pulled off.
That's that experience.
Yeah, see, they be jocking out there. They be jocking, man.
Yeah.
So that was nice. That we did that, and I will let you know, yeah, man, we got some things coming.
Yes.
So also, let's talk about sports, man, because you do some things. With,
I love sports.
Yeah. So what's up, man? Coach West.
So I coach football, and the funny thing is, I've been coaching for 30 years. I've coached against, believe it or not, a Super Bowl quarterback. A lot of people don't know that. Happened to be Byron Leftwich when he was at HB Woods. I was coaching the Phelps.
Okay.
I'm down Little League now, and I've been doing Little League.
I know you was coaching.
Yeah,
I was coaching for Woodridge.
Exactly during that time.
During that time, I had a little
time. That's right.
Northeast Woodridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I coached the Ward 8 Buccaneers. We're in Southeast. We're the heart of Ward 8.
Yeah.
Go
Buccaneers.
The funny thing is that everybody has a big rec center. We got the still old school circle field house with no windows. And over the 13 years when I first got there, we were the Bad News Bears. If you're not familiar with that movie, they didn't have anything. We was the Bad News Bears. And in 3 years, we turned the program around. And since then, we've always kept the team even in the championship and the playoffs.
But man, every year.
So
every year.
And with the help of Kevin Clark from DPR, right, he's been a blessing for me and everything like that. I enjoy it. Sometimes I want to walk away from it. I was supposed to retire last year, but I had to come back. And I enjoyed my son now was playing, and he's actually had the opportunity to watch all these guys go before him. So right now we got about 6 players in D1 or D2.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. I enjoyed it too, man. I had my son on my team too.
Yeah.
That middle linebacker. The first time he did a crushing tackle, Young was coming through the hole. My son, they're like, you gotta calm down, man. Your son. And my other coach was like, "Oh, there you go." Yeah,
I mean, you lost so much.
Man, I was hyped.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice, giving back to communities, coaching for children, giving some type of structure. What's up, Al? Big Al, he's still down there coaching, right?
He's at Woodland now.
He's at Woodland, okay.
He's with the Woodland Tigers. The funny thing about sports, it was only a small part what we were trying to do. We were trying to capture in a small part. Sports was really like the hook.
Okay.
And we use everything else. Like we take them snow tubing and skiing every year.
Yeah.
Every year. We have never missed a year. Even during COVID, we didn't miss a year. Because we wanted kids in the inner city to be able to get out and see something different outside the neighborhood.
Right. So amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, man. Ice cream trucks, coaching with the kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're gonna be right back. Now, back at the Gary Gullluh Show, and we got my special guest, Wes WMV from Flavor of Love Ice Cream Trucks.
You choose the flavor, we're gonna show you the love. FlavorIceCreamTrucks.com.
There you go, you heard that? All right, so look, let's talk about your backstory, man.
Yeah.
Who you are, where you come from, man, and oh man, like I don't know. go. But go ahead, man.
Man, Southeast, born and raised, man. 14th place, High Road, Mars Road, 227.
2-7.
Grew up in that area, man. Been playing football, man. The youngest at about 11. 2 girls, 9 boys, man. And throughout my time in the city, man, met some great dudes, man. One of my partners, Lance, best friends.
That's right.
Me, Lance, and Gary. We used to run together real hard, man. And, here's the funny thing. Me and Gary background was very funny because me and Gary was trying to date the same girl, but we didn't know each other.
We were connected by Lance.
Yeah, we were connected by Lance.
Me and Lance went to school together,
Yeah.
and he knew. And man,
And it was funny. I was like, Lance, who's this guy named Gary? And Gary was like, Lance, who's this dude named Wes? And next thing you know, he winds up in my basement at a party at my house. And I was like, that's Gary, like that. And we became best friends ever since. And we've been hanging out partying ever since. So he would come up my school. I said, hey, look, man, homecoming dance, you gotta be there. And Gary would pick us up in this escort. I'll never forget. And there'd be 6 of us in a small escort. And when we hit the hills, we hit the turns, Gary would say, lean. And we go the other way, we gotta lean.
because I had my BBS going, I ain't gonna scrape my tie. So I was like, lean. We be leaning like we bobsledding in that joint.
So yeah, so
Man.
that, play football, and then we come up to the homecoming dances, and we turn the homecoming dance.
Well, hold on. Let me just go back on that. First of all, we used to go to schools, each other's school. He's coming to high school.
Yeah.
We used to go to cross.
Middle of the day.
Man, middle of the day, like we went there. So the girl that we was both trying to talk to, she was telling me about this other guy or whatever. And I'm like, who is this West guy? She liked him and all that. So one day, this dude come up to my school. I look out the window, and I see this dude at the payphone across the street. But this dude got silk shirt, slaps, a trench leather, some Stacey Adams. And I said, I can't tell you. Look at this dude, man. I can't mess with this dude.
But I didn't have a car.
But man, anyway, that's how that went.
Yeah.
But the schools, we used to go there. We used to go to Crossing. And I ain't never seen no women like Crossing in high school. I mean, we were to murder. Like, where did these girls come from? So
Yeah.
we just didn't have girls like that. No, if our SWW school was beautiful, but Crossing had another step to it. But yet he's coming by school. It was no thing. It wasn't no balance or nothing. You just invite your friends to your school. That's how we used to roll.
We went to a party one night, and we said, you know what, we need to have a total party.
Oh.
And so me, Gary, and Lance got together, with Lil Kurt and Terrence. We said, we're going to have a total party at the house. And we had this total party. We all got to have our responsibility. We did not know Potomac High School girls going to come. Dugelton girls came. Oxon Hill girls came. Crossing girls
Every
came.
high school
Without Walls.
was at
HG.
joint, man.
And there was too many people in the house. It was only 5 of us, and everybody left their jobs. So
Yeah, that's what
that was a highlight. That was. We still talk about that 30 years later.
I was a DJ.
So yeah, Gary was a DJ.
And we just did.
I was a bartender.
People found out we had all types of school. This is the fun we had. I mean, I can go a whole hour talking about auto thefts and like all the stuff we used to do.
Yeah.
The fun we used
But
to
it was
have.
fun.
Man. It was fun. We used to just be kids like Cootie High or whatever. We just be having fun. Man.
That would really sum it up.
Yeah.
Driving cars, chasing girls, going to go-go's, having fun.
Well, back to Physical Wonder.
Yeah.
Craig, Clip, and Doc. Most of y'all, a lot of people don't know, we had a go-go band. Showtime band. And Doc
And show.
started us. We were playing up Cherry. We didn't have to crawl. We started in the middle.
Yep.
I was supposed to be the singer. He was the rapper.
Yep.
And man, we had all of our friends had the instrumental.
Yeah.
Yes,
Everybody had
played the Congo. We needed a
Lil
drum.
Tony
Us,
played
Lil
keyboard.
Tony played the keyboard. So
Jermaine, keyboards. Yeah.
we put that band together. We was up there with Cherries, with Junk, with JY, and we were just on the go-go circuit all of a sudden. And thanks to Doc and Craig, we messed it up at the end. They clipped out.
But one night made us a hit. Lil Benny was supposed to play EU and Pleasure.
That was a Beverly.
No, it was a church.
Okay.
And they were beefing over who was gonna play last. So we played first. And nobody else played the rest of that night, but all the fans came up there to see us on the upper stage. And next thing you know, I was at a gas station 2 days later, like, how's your old face from Showtime Band? I'm like, yeah. And next thing we were doing very well, and we had some discrepancies along
Yeah,
the way.
well, as young men, we was able to. We didn't know we had it. It was just something to do. But man, we was tight and we played with everybody.
Yeah.
You left. I stayed for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then I left. Osei came back. Osei came for a year and then he left. And then I got back. We did 3 more shows. Okay. But we had everybody. Cuff.
And I played with other bands along the way and everything. We had Cuff playing the saxophone.
We had Cuff on the side. We had a horn section, guitars. We had everything. My brother started playing
bass
in the beginning. He went to play reggae. So that's just, you know, a little part of our history. You was walking through, this is how close I am. When I had my first son, we worked for ice cream.
Yeah.
My favorite ice cream.
Right
up 3rd and Mass.
Yep.
So I had, my son was being born, I stopped, I closed the shop.
Hey,
came and got you.
Came and got me.
You walked down the halls with me, man, to see my son.
Yeah.
Little G. Yeah. So that's how, you know, we go.
That's how old is Lil G now?
He 33.
So that tell you almost 40 years. We've
Yeah.
been hanging out together, man, and
So
none of that little stuff has ever bothered us.
Yeah.
You know, our relationships, man, and
watch each other kids grow
yeah,
up.
we watch each other kids grow up and everything like that. You know, I got kids that's still growing up. I got a football player in the house. I got a tennis player in the house, and
that's she's sitting there. That's Logan. She's in the background, and she's doing very well. Tell us about. We're gonna have her on the show one day.
She's number 3 in DC right now. She's ranked number 3 in DC, number 53 in the Mid-Atlantic, and in the nation, she's ranked number 15.
That's that girl
We're gonna
right
get that girl
there.
down.
That's right. She's very humble and modest about it.
Yeah, she is.
Plus, I like the way she runs her business. When
Yes.
she's on that truck.
Let me tell you, if I can say this, I drive the truck. She runs the business.
That's what
I'm talking about ordering the stuff. She know when to go up on the prices, when to not carry any, Dad, don't carry this no more, it doesn't sell, this and that. And she's 14 years old, but she's been doing it since she was 10.
Yeah.
She's been running the truck since she was 10. The day she get her license, you know, I don't have to be on that particular truck anymore. So,
Oh yeah.
you know. But we are doing some great things with Flavor Love Ice Cream Trucks. And here's the funny thing, we don't just become a truck, we're not just family, you know, a black-owned business. I actually hired some of the kids to play Little League football for me.
Okay.
So during the summer, they don't have a summer job, they work with me during the summer.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay. So again, Flavor of Love is doing it for the kids in the community.
Yeah.
He's showing love, coming around those events. I was with you filming one day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was in Southeast with that event, and just bringing the kids to a place where it's love and joy just for the kids. That 10, 15 minutes just being at the truck and just, you know, looking at the flavors and just, you know, the whole and the way you serve them, you know. He's very comedic. Russ could be a comedian, but it's very funny. How you rolling under the table. Everybody know that about this dude. But yeah, man, the way you serve your customers, man.
You know, I have a couple of companies, you know, just in Southeast. One is called Far Southeast Collaborative. And Far Southeast Collaborative has used my company for the last 3 years. I love what they're doing. They're about strengthening the families in Southeast. Any way that they can do about strengthening families in Southeast. So they hire me to come and do different neighborhoods and things like that. Anything they can do to bring up the neighborhoods and the black families in the neighborhood.
Gotcha. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what else? What's the other one?
Oh, so I'll go and depending on like some of the churches that I work with, just as well, they got something going on. I'll do some things with them just as well. And believe it or not, even some of the elementary schools, some schools don't have a big budget. And depending on the school and where the position they're in, I say, listen, today we're going to do an event and we're going to do half of what I normally would charge because I know what they're trying to do. I know the programs that they're trying to build up and things like that. And if it's definitely something for the kids and it's definitely for something for a kid like me when I was growing up in Southeast and how hard it was, then I'm usually both feet in.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all about giving back to our community, you know, showing these kids love. And,
Yeah.
you know, just, you know, I love kids. I love children and the development of children. You know, and we all do our part to give back. You know.
It's funny, you know, we our moms, you know both of us and everything like that.
She asks about you all the time.
She said, you know, you should have been a school teacher. I'm like, she think I like that, but I do like dealing with the kids. But she said you should have been a school teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. She said I really missed my call being a school teacher.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So you know, over time, we're looking to we're going to take it to 3 trucks. Logan has her own car. She's worked on the truck since she was about 9.
Okay.
And she saved up her money to buy her own ice cream car. 4th of July, we talking 300, maybe 400 people in line just to get this little black girl's ice cream and everything like that. And she served every customer. She served the first customer to the last customer the same. So she doesn't. Everybody she treats the same way, nicely and everything like that, just as well.
That's what's up. Yeah, I know she be blowing them out in tennis, man.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
It's been a struggle lately, you know. She's
Right.
getting up to a bigger age group in tennis, the 14U, and a lot of people have gotten better.
Okay.
And some things that she know lately, she says, you know what, Dad, I got to work a little harder or some things like that. So yeah, we definitely doing the push to get that #1 spot back.
Back. That's right. And
The person who has the #1 spot, Logan used to own her, but now it's the other way around. So yeah.
We're going to keep supporting Logan. Hopefully she'll get that spot back. Man, I appreciate you coming through.
I love the show.
Anything else you want to let my viewers know before you go?
Listen, flavorloveicecreamtrucks.com. You can look it up on Yelp. You can look this up on Google and things like that just as well. If you're doing nothing on a night like this, tune in. The brother, Gary, listen, we might be friends, but I know what you've been trying to do for the last 20 years. And this platform right here can not only boost somebody else, but guys, we got a brother that's homegrown from the city, said, you know what, he did everything the right way to make it happen. And I like the show. I love where you're going with the show, your interviews, because you're not trying to interview the star stuff. You're saying, give me the common man, give me the common woman, and you know what? Let's get them on the show so people can see what's going on in the city right here on the Gary GULLUH show.
That's right.
Yes,
I appreciate that, man. Like and subscribe, everyone.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Look, it's one of my best friends. I got a lot of them. It's one of my best friends right here, man. Y'all look out for Flavor of Love Ice Cream Trucks and go ahead and support us with it. We're going to take a quick break.
Thanks for having me, bro. I really appreciate it.
My man. I'll be right back.
Yeah, smooth tip.
So, back to the Gary GULLUH radio show. And today, my second guest in studio is another guest I'd like you to get to know. My friend, Beverly Price. Beverly Price.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to be here. I said nice to meet you. Nice to be here. But
What's up? Thanks for coming on my show. It's big, man. We go back. That's my girl right
this
here.
guy done saved me a million times.
We gonna get into that. So look, man, let my viewers know about you and what you do.
Well, my name is Beverly Price. I'm a local creator, photographer. I'm mainly known for my photography, but I also have an element where I curate artists, musical artists in the House of Secret of DC that has been around since 1960. They had hosted events with Prince, Duke Ellington, Miles Davis, and also started Raheem Devon's career, and the list goes on and on.
Okay.
So I'm known for those elements, but I'm mainly known for my street photography and the stuff that I document in DC, Dairy Farms, the youth, and what's really happening in our communities.
There you go. That's what's up. So I know you always been doing photography.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your handles? Your outlet is the Film Goddess, the Film _.
Yeah, my Instagram is is Film Goddess _. But currently I just deactivated my page because I'm working on a show with a brother named Shantae Gates. We're collaborating on a collaborative project that is really big for both of us right now.
Okay.
Where 2 DC artists are working together. He went to Duke Ellington. He's a little older than me, and I went to Dunbar.
Okay.
So we're just collaborating and keeping that DC collaboration between the man and the woman in the city that it's not as forthcoming like it should be.
Okay.
And I'm also working on another solo show with just my own photography. So it's been a big time for me.
Good. What have you done? I mean, I know you dabbled in a little film. I've seen some of your videos on your page.
Mm-hmm.
You dabble into a lot of different content, a lot of different materials. So
Yeah. Right now, I'm currently a professor at American University. My photography started after I won a James Webb Scholarship at the Smithsonian in 2012 when I was in Georgetown for PR.
okay.
And I ended up becoming curious about DC and seeing the gentrification and how our city was being removed from us. So I had an urge to pick up a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, I got a show at American University where I'm teaching it now with some really amazing DC artists as well at the Katzen Center. And that's how my career kind of started. And I didn't graduate undergrad, but photography has taken me far enough to get into graduate school without an undergraduate degree.
Okay. Wow.
And
That's a
I
success
just
story.
completed my master's degree at Maryland Institute College of Art, which they call MICA,
Okay.
in Baltimore in May. So
Okay.
yeah, I've come a long way from a girl who was locked up at 17.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go back, to who you are and your backstory a little bit, but and you also you appear to be one of our freedom fighters in our generation. So you're doing that. You're trying to just cognitively awake people awareness, sense of heighten their awareness about our city and how it's being evaporated from us.
Yeah.
That's very good that you're doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, I try to do that because I know we have a lot of artists now who want to play on collectives for someone who collects arts mentality or fake narrative. And I know we all want to focus on Black joy, but in order to get to Black joy, we have to face Black trauma and how we, James Baldwin talked about that as well. We have to see what's really happening in our community to get solutions. And it's still things that's happening in our community, particularly with Black boys who I tend to document the most, that we really need to have more of a conversation with and not just face it with. When we say Black joy, we want to paint these pictures, but nobody's really going in these ghettos and seeing what we really seeing every day. We can get the Black joy, but we have to first address certain things that are happening in these inner city communities.
That's right.
And once we address that, we address the trauma, and then we can go beyond that layer and reach the Black joy that we all looking to highlight, which is all of it's Black joy in its own sense because we overcome whatever we go through. But we have to be realistic, and I'm a realistic artist. I'm not painting no fake pictures. I'm gonna paint what I see in these communities and how we need to correct them. And when we do the correcting, that's when we'll get those other photos that we really want to see more so.
I love to see it. I mean, we've been at this point in our generation and in our lives, it's always a ceiling. We can never get over that hump. We complain, we fight, we try to resist. But yeah, I'm very interested about more about Black, men or whatever that you, I think, maybe we need a lot of programs and a lot of things to occupy or enhance one's creative ability that way. So I think if we get these things of our city or our, legislation can put these things in place to have a platform where people can go to for outreach, for mental health, for job skills and stuff like that. So I would love to see that.
I mean, I started working with the youth this summer, and I seen us putting cameras in their hands, giving them a way to see themselves and documenting themselves, opposed to having their perspective given from Hollywood.
Right.
It really changed a lot of the youth, and even when me working with the kids in the community, me coming around with the camera, highlighting them, giving them attention, and showing that, hey, we care about your story, and we're here to protect you. It really brought a sense of respect, and I see the boys growing from it. So the story that once was sad that I was kind of having from one of the little boys, the boys I was documenting at the time, who was Kavon Brown's brother and friends in Woodland Tourist. He was an 11-year-old boy who was shot by a 27-year-old man in our community. I wanted to talk about this subject because we need to talk about why are we killing each other and why are we not protecting our children. And I did this story and I see how just me bringing the camera to them and showing them that I care about your trauma. I care, not trying to create poverty porn, but in a perspective where we are here to say, we hear your story needs to be heard, and how can this bring you this attention and let you know that the community is thinking about you as a collective, how it has changed these boys in some way. You know what I'm saying? How they know that it's people in the community that they can actually talk to. And I noticed that with the Black boys, being a Black woman, I have a way to reach them a little differently than a Black man would. And I know a lot of people would say it from a different perspective. I think Black men need to go out there and reach Black girls more and communicate with the little girls a little more from a different perspective, because little girls learn from the opposite a little bit, just like men learn from the opposite. So I just think that perspective need to be highlighted a little more, and that's why I chose Black boys opposed to Black girls, because I see that, you know, it is a relationship between the masculine and feminine energy that definitely needs to be highlighted and needs to be shown, that balance is important as well.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you, what do you have for the little girl? I know you're focusing on Black boys, but you know, our young women definitely need help out here. I have a daughter, and I know one of my friends who was on the show, Dawn Diva, she was expressing concern about her 14-year-old child who is like missing right now. I hope she is found. I've been looking out for her, you know, but I hope you know, she is returned home. And the influences and the pop culture and the public opinion, these platforms have like stripped our women, our young ladies, of who they are and what they mean to a man. So, you know, once our young ladies incorporate their value in themselves and what they bring, you know, as they are, you know, then I mean that would help our young men to receive more. You know?
No, I think it's a lot of stuff that I have in place for women. Another piece of my work is a picture of these little girls is very popular called "A Seat at the Table," and it's all about Black girls.
A seat at the table. That's what's up.
And you know, this particular work is about the feminine element and how, you know, we have our own like way of communicating. But what I'm learning about Black girls is, by me being a daddy's girl, I think that the conversation in our communities, we need to gather up men who are real men, who knows how to work with little girls as well. I know it's an uncomfortable ground, but we have to like work with little girls, because like my father, he was the first man I met. And him teaching me how to be a woman, not to be easy, to have some grace, and to like have a strength about myself where people respected me if I was naked or not, was so important to me. But I do feel like it is an element where sisters, we only can communicate with each other, and it is an element where men have to communicate with each other. But I think right now it is a balance that needs to be created among both, because a lot of Black girls have their mothers and they're in these positions. So a lot of this issue is coming from them not having a male perspective, because that's the first man they meet.
Well, and in the defense, I understand that, but in defense of that, I would say that, like me, myself, and a lot of men that I know who have daughters, we are hands-on. It's the problem is like those distractions. The you know, our society somehow is changing our daughters, our young ladies' mind. That you don't need a man, you don't need your father, daddy jokes, whatever that's about. It's just the disrespect of a Black man now is being incorporated in everything a young lady do, even from the little boys. Well, you know, it's so perpetuated that, you know, men are this, men are that, and it's these distractions that kind of inhibit us to be able to do those things.
And it comes from the mothers, I think.
The mothers, they the mothers, they do this. They bitterly exhume the man from the relationship and try to create or weaponize that child support system. And this is what usually happens. The mother goes through a cycle of bitterness up until the daughter gets 14, 15, preteen. And then the mother can't take care of the daughter anymore. So that's the time where that daughter is going to need that guidance from her father the most. And that doesn't come into play when the bitterness stage in the beginning, when the creation of turmoil and stress is just created around that young lady. I'm sure when daddy go home, mom is telling everything bad about him. And that forces her concept about men in general. And that's a divide that has to be, the emotions have to be separated from the reality of co-parenting.
Yeah, it is, and I think Black women, we play such a big part, and I think that we have to step up. I tell people all the time, when I look at that picture of the Virgin Mary and the Son, it tells us a lot. Those relationships are so valuable to the unit, and I think that women, we have a big role to play, and we have to step up our standards. We control more than what we think. If a woman sits down and say, I'm not messing with a drug dealer, I'm not messing with a man who's not getting up, 90, maybe 80% of the men are gonna do what they gotta do to get that woman. So I think women, we have more power than we do, but we have to recreate our standards. We have to recreate what we consider ourselves to be. And accept ourselves. I love being a woman. I don't have to be naked. I don't have to dress all crazy. I love being a Black woman first. I'm never going to deny it. I don't care what I do in life, because I grew up with a Black man who helped me and he taught me something. And by his influence in my life, he really made me respect Black men. So that's why I say that masculine element plays a big part, just like that feminine element with that son. If a boy meets his mother and that woman betrays him, he's going to always be betrayed by a Black woman. So that's why they're so angry, because the first woman they met betrayed them, and vice versa. So I think women, we have a bigger power than what we think, and I think that we can't put all the blame on Black men. We can't do that. It comes from, we are the molders. We have you in our room for 9 months.
I totally agree.
And if you make a child hate you, a Black boy or a Black girl, that child is always going to have a stigma.
Right. And don't forget, as a woman, who you are and what you mean to a man. Women means, they complete our cipher. I mean, you know, it balances us as men to have women in our lives. So don't think that, you know, majority of men are not bashing and feminists, or, you know, we're not, you know, predators, you know. Majority of men really respect and love our women.
Oh yeah, and vice versa. I think it doesn't matter what we do. I think that I have a love for Black men on beyond the physical. I think that that's a beautiful thing. I think my relationships with Black men last a lot stronger because we have a more mental connection too. And it just shows me how far I get with my brothers. And I have a love for my brothers, and I think that we all have to love people no matter what they do, no matter, even if we agree to disagree. I think it's a respect that we need to get in our community, and we need to step up for ourselves. And we also gotta be accountable. Listen to our music. We can't get mad now that we got a Glorilla, because we had a we got a future for how long? I mean, it's, you know, it's bound to have a Glorilla. Glorilla get bombed.
I just found out who she was about 2 days ago. And I haven't really researched and checked on her material out.
But no, I mean, she's a female artist that's speaking on stuff, but I feel like, you know, I hear a lot of people talk about, oh, Black women, that they cutting up and this and that. No, but you've been cutting up about your woman too. We need to learn from all these other cultures. They respect their women, and I think, and they respect their man. And I think we need to get to that point where we start to manifest through our music and our words what we want to do. And not saying that we're going to be perfect. I love it all. I love all music. I'm not judging. I ain't no saint. I listen to trap. I might listen to trap when I leave here.
Okay. So I listen to all types of music too.
But I love real music. I grew up in the R&B era. I grew up with, it was a lot more love happening. And it was a different energy then. It was a different vibration. And we need to be mindful of what we're putting out there and not worry about why this is happening in our community when we're constantly manifesting it through affirmations and words that we wake up listening to F that woman, F that man. Oh, you know, of course we gonna have a society that.
Yeah, I don't suggest playing club music during the day when your kid in the car. Like women listen to, or people listen to the craziest music, and then they have their children indoctrinated into that. You should be playing jazz or some type of like classical music when your kid is in the car. Cut it up when they're gone. I think those are the things we have to let go of outside influences because we're the most influenced culture on the planet.
Yeah.
So although we have our own culture, but we are influenced. So we got to let the outside influences go and really knuckle down about our parental habits and trying to make the best, for our children. So.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do, and I think it starts with us as a community, and I think it's us taking back our sound. It starts with us taking back our sound and our imagery.
Identity.
And our identity, and like really like create back our own content, like what you're doing today, where we have these conversations with each other, because a lot of people think that a Black gay woman like myself wouldn't have this conversation with a Black man.
Let me tell you, man, like in the hood, true, but you got so much respect from dudes, man, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast. Also Focus know you. My engineer, give it up for Also Focus.
Oh yeah, Also Focus killer, man. He always in there working with the kids. Right. Always stepping up for the youngins, man.
So I mean, you got love from you're just like one of the boys or one of the girls.
No, I'm everything, man.
Yeah,
But I respect, and I grew up from the old school, and I understand. Like back then, we didn't have this stigma like we got now. We just love people for who they are, and I think we need to get back to seeing people's soul and not get so caught up on the surface, because that's where this ideology has turned us from. We lost a lot of beautiful, good ideas and people because we so caught up with things that aren't even realistic.
That's right.
We'll date people in our community and we'll highlight and put all these other women on a pedestal, and you got Black mothers who have raised us beyond this new stuff that we got going on. But Black mothers and aunties and Black men. I grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather. They were married 50 years, solid unit. My mother and my father was there every day of my life, wasn't even with my mother, was there every day. So I grew up with that understanding of like unity in the household, and like we did what we had to do for each other. And we got to get back to that, because I see something in my work about the children that they're talking to me through my work, and that they really need foundation. They need generational wealth. They need structure again, and they not even playing no more. They not outside playing.
Not playing.
As a documentarian, as a photographer who documented kids outside for years, 2019 after the pandemic. There's no kids outside playing. That's a problem. All of us are going to get older soon. Who going to take care of us? And if the children don't have no respect for us, we done. We see what's happening right now. All the kids is committing crimes. They 16, 15 years old right now. They need to set up government programs. Let us people like photographers, let us be. They're creative people. Put music, put more music back. What we got to do.
We got to do it. Because, I mean, this is what we've been relying on the government to give us, and it's always a half step. So, like Keith Nye said, every time we get our wishes, they displace our initiatives. So, we got to take control.
Yeah, just get back, get our kids back and create creative things. Like taking music out of our schools was straight disrespectful.
But they did that on purpose. We need a commission to commission everything that we, as our people and our culture, needs. Yeah. We need to have our own commission and let the government help somebody else. We'll probably be better without the influences.
And I would definitely say this, as well as Black growth Black love is not white hate, Jew hate, or any of that hate. It is the global love. If you don't have Black people manifesting and creating, the planet will die. We are valuable to the ecosystem. So if you want to live and you want to survive, you better invest back in Black lives. And I ain't talking about no matter. This is Black lives and energy and creative stuff. So if you want to survive as an entity anywhere on this planet, we are originators here. We got Aboriginal people here, and we come from the diaspora, we come from Native American backgrounds, we come from so many different layers. This place will not survive without us.
And we're not a threat.
Especially DC. DC
We're
will
not
die.
a threat. We're
DC
not-
will die
yeah,
without black people.
Well, yeah, that's true. But
I'm
that's,
seeing it.
yeah. But we're not a threat. We are loving and forgiving.
Yeah.
And but it's all about we need to start fighting for our race. I think
Yeah.
more. We need to start fighting like other cultures. They fight. They don't just lay down when legislation's being passed. Somebody says something to do. We have a few, but we need more of the freedom fighters like you.
Yeah, and we need to do what we gotta do. We need to get up every day and work together, put our differences to the side, have a conversation with each other. Hey, I might not agree with you on this, but I agree with you with this. And this is how we can work together. And that's how we're gonna move forward. But we can't let this sex and these, oh, I'm a man, I'm a woman, you know, we are nothing without each other. We need balance in our community.
Balance and structure.
Balance is everything. I don't care what you do.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you're there like me, then they gonna hate me now. All they wanna do is try to bring you down. Sometimes I better stay to myself, cause I just don't know if you're a friend or a foe. If you're there like me, then they gonna hate me now. All they wanna do is try to bring you down. Sometimes I better stay to myself, cause I just don't know if you're a friend or a foe.
And we're back with Beverly Price. Back with Beverly Price. So Beverly, thanks for coming on the show again. Before you go, what about your rapping? Let's go a little bit about your backstory, who you are, and you know what you had to do to become Beverly Price.
Well, you know, I went to Dunbar High School. I also went to Coolidge for a little bit too. I got put out, but I went to Dunbar, played basketball a little bit, and I just hit a milestone in high school when my best friend, little Beverly, got killed. She played on the basketball team with me, and it just kind of like got me into stealing cars. You know, I became, DC had an era like in the early, like around 99, 98, but we were just stealing, before that, but that's the era I came in with. And we were stealing cars, and I got caught up with a carjacking charge, actually. And I was 17 and a half, almost 18 when I caught the charge, I remember, and I got sentenced under something called the UFAC. I had 4 co-defendants. I was the one with the gun. I was the one who, I was smoking something at the time called PCP. And it was a lady in a car, and I robbed her, and she told them that I was one of the nicest robbers she ever met, because I realized, you know, at the time that it was actually a young babe, like a young girl in the back. And when I realized I was smoking PCP at the time, because that was just the era I was in, I was traumatized. My friend got killed. I just started smoking weed. I was like, F the world, and I thought my life was over for real. And she had a little girl in the back, and when I realized she had a little girl in the back, and even before that, I was very nice. I was just high. And I was like, oh my God, of course. You know, and she actually vouched for me during the sentencing and actually helped me get through the sentence properly, where I got 5 years, because she was so nice. I was so kind. She knew I made a mistake, but she knew I had to learn a lesson. She knew I was smoking PCP. And I got 5 years, and I came home at 23 or so, maybe like 23 years old. And, you know, I enrolled in college, and I went to Trinity and Georgetown University, and now I'm just completing my master's. But I just, you know, my record got expunged. I was able to work good jobs, and that's when I got that scholarship to Smithsonian, and it changed my life. And it just changed my life, and I learned a lot about culture and history, and I realized what I was into, and that's when the camera had a dream about these 4 boys coming out of the ground in Berry Farms. I'll never forget it. And they were so black, they was like blacker than this table here. And they were like the color of this table, and they had royal blue eyes. And they handed me a camera. And ever since I had that dream, I've been taking photos. So after that, I told some people that worked with me at the time at the Smithsonian about that dream. They said they grabbed you.
Wow.
And they sent me on a mission. My work has been focused particularly on Black boys, and I felt like, you know, it is an element of where Black boys are communicating with the mother energy because they know something that we might have forgotten. I just felt like they was calling out to the mothers to kind of restructure our thinking and just something. It's something deep that I'm still developing as an artist. I'm still in my research phases of my work. But that's where this journey started. And it's like, I started looking at all my work and I was like, it's a pattern of Black boys. And my most popular picture is of 4 Black boys in Berry Farms holding a sign saying housing is a natural right, not a privilege. That is my most, like that photo has taken me to Mexico City, has taken me around the world. So I look at that photo and it reminds me of my purpose. Those little boys remind me of my purpose and what I'm here to do. I don't know why they called me, what they're trying to use me for. When I talked to some people in other places, they said that the boys might be a representation between the mother and the son, like the Virgin Mary and the son. Whatever, I don't know, it's deep stuff. People have their own perspectives of it, but that's how my work kind of got started. And no matter what I do, boys pop up in my work. I try to shoot little girls, I try to shoot a lot of other stuff, but every time I look at the sequence, it's like they did. All my friends like, yo, this is real at this point.
Yeah, that's your calling right now.
Yeah.
Real.
Maybe I had sons in a past life. I don't know. I don't know what that's coming from, but that's what the work is about. And I'm gonna follow the path because I know it's a calling, and I'm gonna stay in my calling. Not saying it's just gonna be about that, but I'm gonna stay on the path that they sent me, which when they gave me the camera. So that's where, and now I'm here. You know, working, teaching at American University. I never would have thought I'd be a professor.
Wow. Professor Beverly Price, y'all.
I never would have thought my butt, who came out of a federal penitentiary, would be where I'm at today and like curating shows and linking up with people. So
it's wonderful.
I'm blessed. So now I'm here. I met G a few years. G would fix my cars. I also love old school. So
your car,
that's probably why I was still in cars back then. I like cars. I got Z280.
You got the Z, okay. You had the Lincoln Mark back there.
Yeah. I had a few little old schools. I love my Lincoln Mark. That was my baby.
You had a few cars,
Yeah, so G has been great at what he does he was a tow truck guy one time, a great mechanic. So you made
I did a lot of lockouts for you.
Oh,
come, boy, get them keys out of that car, boy. I remember that all the time.
Oh man, you did. You helped me out a lot. And then too, you're a great actor. So when I get into the filmmaking, we're going to have to call G down.
I love it.
So
I love it. I'm ready.
Yeah. So what got you into acting? Look, I'm turning into a host.
Look, my acting thing came from, well, it was a car thing. My cars, automobiles is my God-given talent. That's my fault. When I was 3, I knew the engine sizes. But when I was 6, I knew the engine sizes. You're making model bar cars on the street. So all these older men like, who's this little kid? You know my stuff. And I think I knew how much money actors made, and I wanted to have every car I ever wanted. So I was like, let me get in this film business and try to be an actor. And I actually did it. I got into it. Started at a school play in '92 that spun off the Roosevelt's in the Minute. And after that, me and some cast members went out to Cali, LA, and we set up there. And I come back from LA. I learned the business, and I was doing movies here ever since. Now I got my own Energy Films, my own production company. But this is about Beverly. I'll get into me later. Anything else you want to add before we wrap you up?
Oh man, just to all the youth or anybody who's listening to this, don't let your past control you. Keep going towards your destiny. Shout out to all the great Black photographers like Gordon Parks and Roy DeCavava. Just so many Black photographers who I like the old school photographers. I like those who play with soul and not focus on having a perfect photo. I like energy. So to all the photographers that shoot and get real energy, I'm for you, not no over editors. Those are people I'm inspired by. Those are people that keep me going. And to anybody who just, like I said, been in a jam before, your calling it's never too late to find your calling, and just keep going, man. Keep going.
How can we find you on your Instagram outlets?
When I get back on there, it's filmgoddess_, but right now you can find me on BeverlyPricePhoto.com. And that's my name, Beverly Price. That's BeverlyPrice, photo, PHOTO.com. That's the best way to find me right now, because I'm working on my next work, and I'm putting out more work that I haven't shown ever before.
Well, we're gonna watch out for that. Thanks for coming on my show.
Anytime, bro. Peace, man. Peace, love to you, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
You know, this would be a good archival piece for both of us.
Yes. And thank you for my guests for tuning in. That's a wrap.
Rastaman dep on spot. Just easy and cool, man.